Hello, and welcome to Casual Tech Review. In my last couple videos, which I'll throw cards up in the corners here, I've talked about my journey flipping PCs and a lot of the successes that I've had. And I've gotten comments from people, and I've tried to encourage you that, hey, if you take certain steps and you do things a certain way, your chances of being successful are really high. But I would be dishonest if I didn't say that it doesn't always work out, and you will learn lessons, and you will have failures flipping just like anybody else. So in this video, what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over 3 flips that have not gone well for me and have cost me time, money, and my reputation. So hang tight. Not every PC flip is going to be a slam dunk. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to have things that happen that don't go your way. The key is learn lessons from every situation and experience that you have and use them to improve your process, your product, and your customer service. This first situation I'm going to talk about, this one cost me time. This one started out as a commission build. I had a young lady reach out to me about another computer, but it seemed like it didn't quite fit her needs. So we talked a little bit about what her budget was and time frame and what kind of parts that she wanted. She wanted pink inside of her PC. She wanted a white case. And so that's what we did. Gave her all of that she wanted. We went back and forth. We conversed for a very long time about it. And after I delivered it to her and she took it home, she liked how it looked. But her comment to me, and you can see here, it was, it's okay, it's just a little bit laggy, and she's not sure why, but it is running quiet, which she enjoyed. So I gave her some suggestions about some things she could do and asked her some questions about what she meant by laggy. She was really not able to explain that to me. So I checked back in with her a couple of days later and I said, hey, how's it going? She said it's still lagging really bad. And what was frustrating to her is that she had a laptop that she used prior and the laptop was performing better. So we went back and forth some more, and I sent her some tutorial videos. And ultimately, what we kind of figured out was that it wasn't just lagging in one application, it was kind of lagging overall in general. And she thought it was a Wi-Fi issue. So even though she lived about an hour away from me, I agreed. I said, okay, can you meet in the morning? I'll come to your house. She said yes, and ultimately ended up going all the way over to her house. I made sure I explained to her, I said, look, I am not a network engineer. This is absolutely not an area of strength for me. I said, all I've done is I've looked up YouTube videos to try and figure out what might be the problem here. I brought some Wi-Fi antennas to switch those out. I brought a USB Wi-Fi antenna. I took internet speed tests and made a bunch of changes and ultimately tweaked a lot of settings within Windows, but we couldn't get where she wanted to be. On her laptop, she was getting download speeds of 300 gigabytes per second, which is what she pays for. Also, the best I could get on that PC in her house was about 35. So I said, let me take it back to my house. I'll test everything again and see if I can figure out what the deal is. And I'll either bring it back to you, facilitate getting a new part. Maybe it needed a new motherboard or something. Or I did tell her that I would give her a refund if we just couldn't make it work. So I took it home, plugged it in at my house, and as you can see here, I had multiple other desktops here at the house that I've been working on, and the PC worked exactly the same as the other PCs that were here. So we decided that, hey, I just cannot make this work. I don't know enough about networking and Wi-Fi and all that kind of thing. And so I decided that I was just going to give her a refund. I probably spent a grand total of 5, 6, maybe even 7 hours working on this PC over the course of time, whether I was researching things, sending her video and advice for her to try, driving all the way to her house, taking the PC, bringing it home, testing it. It was a huge waste of time to end up back at the same spot where now I've got a PC that, while it's still in good shape, she didn't abuse it at all, but I did have to clean it, get the dog hair out of it. Throughout that whole experience, I wasted a ton of time to ultimately have the PC back in my possession after giving her a full refund. However, even though I don't offer a warranty and she didn't ask about it beforehand, I did think it was the right thing to do since, yeah, the PC ran applications great, but the one thing she really needed it to do was fast download speeds for her job and for playing online games, and the PC just wasn't doing it. That last PC flip cost me a lot of time, probably 7-8 hours of total time, and ended up right back where I started. This next PC flip is probably going to end up costing me money. So here it is. It's an i7 6700K with an MSI 1070, all in an ARGB DIY PC ARGB Q10 case. You can see I've added cable extensions, a graphics card support, got the RGB fans. It looks really, really nice. I decided to go with the fish tank case because those are fairly popular, and my total build cost for this build was around $386. I originally listed it for $525, and as you can see here, I posted it 5 weeks ago, and I've got the price all the way down to $425. Still have not had anyone buy this thing. It's not for lack of people seeing it. You can see I've got over 1,400 clicks, 24 saves, and as you can see here, a boat ton of messages. This isn't even all of them. This is just all I could fit on the screen. I think I've had over 20 people reach out to me about it. One guy has said he wanted to buy it twice and then backed out. But other than that, it's just a ton of people asking, haggling price, and then just never getting back to me. I think the lesson that I've learned with this PC is, because I'm probably going to lose money selling it, I could take it apart, repurpose some of it, kind of reset, and maybe I'll end up doing that. At this point, I'm not sure. Honestly, I'd be happy to sell it and just get rid of it so I can be done with it and move on to the next thing. But my lesson learned is this, is it's a super budget build. The margin is just not that great to add in a $75 case and $25 cable extensions, and $8 graphics support. Like, yeah, those are really great features, and I really like doing builds that feature those things. But at this price point, the margin, which I didn't get a stupendous deal on any of these parts, I got pretty good deals, but nothing crazy that allowed me to keep the build cost so low that I could do that. And that's my lesson learned, is I made this build too fancy for what it was. It's really old hardware, and I just can't get anybody interested enough to buy it. So I'm probably going to take a loss of money on this one. And that's my second lesson learned. I absolutely need to be a little more intentional about the accessories that I'm putting in these PCs and the prices that I'm getting them at as I'm building them out, because I vastly overestimated how much money I would get for this thing. Sometimes builds are going to cost you time, sometimes they're going to cost you money. This one cost me a little bit of my reputation, and this is the one that I would change if I could. So I bought a iBuyPower pre-built for really cheap. I'll put a card up in here. Took it out of the case, put it in a fresh new case, updated it, and made a great profit on that PC. I think like $200 some profit. I also decided to just sell the case and the power supply because I didn't really want to use them, and I don't really like the iBuyPower stuff that much anyway. I was very surprised when I listed the case and the power supply for $25. You can see here I got an absolute boat ton of messages of people trying to buy this thing from me, and I didn't specify in my ad first come first serve, and that's the lesson that I learned. So I had a guy reach out to me, and we kind of went back and forth, and I said, yeah, I said, you're next up on the list. If I can't make the sale to this other guy, then I'll sell it to you. And we went back and forth, and the other guy didn't work out. So I said, hey, I said, where can you meet me one evening? And I never heard back from him. So the next morning, I moved to the next guy on the list, and I said, hey, the last guy didn't get back to me. I'm willing to sell it to you, and ended up selling it pretty quick the next day to the third or the fourth or whatever person messaged me, and got a quick sale. Well, what I didn't realize was the guy who I was talking to, but then he just stopped messaging me, apparently got pretty upset that I didn't sell the $25 iBuyPower case to him. So he dropped a 1-star review on me. I can't go back and show you the messages between he and I because I blocked him. Not really sure what his deal is. I tried to message him after I got the review, but he never responded. But he was obviously very upset, even though I told him, I said, hey, I never heard back from you, so I went ahead and sold it to someone else. he was very upset. And to some degree, I think he's being kind of a big old baby. But I also do understand I did not specify first come, first serve, and I absolutely should have done that. With something like this, where it's in really high demand and you just want to get rid of it because you're getting so many messages about it, make sure that you're communicating with people and letting them know, hey, look, I'm going to sell this thing to the first person that meets at a location convenient to me for the price that I want, and make sure that's clear so you can try to avoid people getting really upset and dropping a 1 star on you. This guy, though, appeared to be easily offended. I'm not totally sure what his deal is, but I think if I had communicated better, I probably could have avoided getting this 1 star, which, although it's just 1 star, I have 11 other 5 star reviews, so it doesn't hurt me too bad. My overall rating is still really good. I do not like that on my seller profile that I did get a 1 star recently, about a month and a half ago. So this was definitely a lesson that I learned that hurt me in my reputation. Make sure you communicate well with people. If you're doing a first come, first serve, communicate that very clearly. I thought it was important to show, while yes, I have been pretty successful and have made some decent money and actually even made some friends because of PC flipping and doing this sort of thing, there also is going to be times where you're going to make mistakes. You're going to learn lessons, and it's important to take something away from each one. Each one of these situations cost me time, cost me money, and cost me reputation. So take my mistakes as lessons learned for yourself in your own flipping journey. Make sure you don't make the same mistakes. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please leave me a like, leave a comment about some of the lessons that you've learned so we can all make sure we're clear. Nothing goes perfectly according to plan, but as long as you identify your own mistakes, change your behaviors, adapt, and improve going forward, you'll be just fine. Thanks for watching.